So you think you can sell? The show where local contestants compete for a $100,000 VP sales position. Every week, contestants will be challenged to sell for local companies.
Sales are in my DNA.
I will definitely give them a run for their money.
I'm going to win this because I'm the best.
I want to see if I have what it takes.
And those who can't keep up will be eliminated. Our three very experienced and successful judges will be making the final decision.
That's the best you've got?
I don't have a lot of time to listen to you.
And I would never do something underhanded and deviant.
I'm not buying it. This is So You Think You Can Sell. Our three judges, Sandy, Debbie, and Ken, spent a few days interviewing possible contestants. Let's meet a few of them.
We're going to give you 5 different companies' products
Okay.
and services, right? And you've got to do something well with each of them to win this contest. It might be getting it into a store, it might be getting a residential customer, it might be getting a friend or neighbor to buy something, it might be opening up a major account.
Yeah.
Obviously, we wouldn't have brought you in here unless we felt that you might be the sales and marketing guru. And we've all looked at your resume, but if you could just take a minute to highlight some of your sales and marketing experience.
Sure. You know, I think sales with me it's in my DNA. My dad was a salesman, and he always instilled in me to do the best I ever can. He was a shoe shine boy when he was 10 years old, supporting his mother, and he goes, I was the number one. How? Because I was the best. I did the best job. And that was instilled in me at a real young age, along with, you gotta want it. You gotta want it. I love to win.
I asked him about his sales and marketing
Business
background,
was a surf shop.
and he's telling me
I
about
modeled
restaurants
after
and
white,
operations,
white people.
surfboards.
I had the best shapers in the world with my logo. The surfboard industry in California in the late 70s was pretty difficult. These summers were great. I got a part-time job.
This is painful.
Complex in Del Mar.
This could be
And
a
I
really
just
long
did as a
day.
need to learn basis. I was a maintenance man. Never did it before.
What I do want to say about the conversation so far is that I don't have a lot of time to listen to you go on and on and on, so I'd like for you to tell me succinctly what it is that you have, what is unique to you that makes you think that you can even compete in this contest. When we last left, So You Think You Can Sell, Sandy told Steve that he was rambling too much. What I do want to say about the conversation so far is that I don't have a lot of time to listen to you go on and on and on, so I'd like for you to tell me succinctly what it is that you have, what is unique to you that makes you think that you can even compete in this contest.
Okay, fair enough. Everything I've ever done, I've done very well. I did the best I could, and I achieved. I achieved sales goals in every company that I worked for. After the home security, I went into commercial security for Westinghouse. The year and a half I was there, I won top sales in the company 6 times. I moved on to the higher ticket item, being commercial, high end. I sold CCTV systems in its infancy. Again, became the top salesperson in a national company called Sonatrol. So my track record speaks for itself. Where I go, I'm a winner.
Can you tell me, as quick as you can, a personal or business example of when there was an extreme challenge or hardship and you overcame it? As quick as you can, personal or business.
Sure. Very easily, when my jazz club closed, I lost everything I had. I had to reinvent myself. I started as a telemarketer.
Did you go broke?
Quite frankly, yeah.
Okay.
I did. But I had to rebound. I had to reinvent myself. I did that with sales, and I ended up owning my own business that I sold. And I sold every car dealership CCTV systems to replace their standing guards overnight. My close was, would you rather have 2 eyes that are closed, perhaps, or 36 eyes being monitored through a state-of-the-art monitoring system? I sold practically every car dealership in San Diego, and you probably know car dealerships are a very hard sell to
What's
close.
your motivation for being in this contest? What do you want out of it? You're smiling when I asked you
Oh, I
that.
love it. I want to win. It's not
Because, why?
it's who I am.
Do you want the job or the money or the prestige or what?
Quite frankly, I don't want the job. Money's nice. Frankly, I make more money day trading. I truly want to win this competition. I know I could win. This is who I am, and I want to win. It's all about winning.
You're very driven.
I am driven.
Would you say you're a gambler? Do you have a gambling addiction?
Oh no, oh no, no. I don't even go into a casino.
But you're a risk taker.
I take risks. Sure, you have to. You have to roll the dice. If you want to achieve in this world, you have to roll the dice.
So can you tell me something juicy about yourself?
Yeah, that's actually a good question, but I would say I love pretty women.
So, Sandy, about Steve, I think for me you hit it on the head when you said you started to lose me in that long conversation.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's the best you've got to tell me why you're going to win?
You know, there were several things about him that
That you what?
well, he didn't impress me. I wasn't impressed by him. He didn't wow me. There wasn't a lot there. He spent way too much time talking.
I liked that he seemed excited in a lot of ways about the competition, but then on the other hand, he said, I'm not in it for the job and make enough money. So that kind of bothered me.
A bigger issue for employers is he a loose cannon? I mean, this is a guy who came in here and made a comment about, that he liked pretty women. I think it's controversial, and I think that it's something that I feel a little uncomfortable recommending him as a sales rep for any other company. I don't know how you feel about that.
Go ahead.
I like pretty women too, but I'm not sure that I would share that as the compelling reason of why I'm going to win this contest, or that I want my character to be identified with that. I would rather say fortune rewards the brave rather than I like pretty women. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was in this contest that made you feel like, wow, I can do this, I can win this?
Sure. I would love to win this. Before I answer that, I was curious what your role within the contest is.
We're the judges.
Well, in that case, I brought something for you and the team. They're succulents from my garden. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
Thanks. So yes, I live locally in Carmel Valley, and I have a very competitive kind of personality. I'm all about the team though, and so I thought, you know what? With my local training every day with the largest direct mail publication in San Diego called Get One Free, I'm always meeting people, affiliation. I'm always about outside, sales, meeting people, and I thought this would be a really natural way to showcase my personality gifts. Being in San Diego, being one of the top reps, it seemed like a really neat, conducive fit. My husband always makes fun of me because we play ping pong in our living room. We have the ping pong table there, and we never warm up. I like to get right to the point. Okay, let's go, 0-0. So he knows I'm competitive. His friends make fun of me. I've always been into thinking about different marketing plans and ideas, and so with this concept, I thought I would really fit well into that.
You're fabulous. You really are. I just wanted to ask a question because you're so positive and energetic. How do you handle objections when you get it?
I never ignore it. I like to focus on that if it's an ongoing concern. Like for instance, I've been told our magazine is too small, but I agree, sometimes it is. But women, when we did focus groups, they love the size of the magazine so they can put it in their purse. It's mobile.
I like how she brands her magazine in our television
Exactly.
show. It's a
Yeah,
smart cookie.
I'm having a problem here. I'm over here going, okay, who am I dealing with? I'm just wondering how manipulative you are. I mean, you show up with these succulents, and you show up with magazines that you definitely want to brand, but I've got sponsors who really want their products sold, and they're very serious about their business, and we're very serious about getting business for those sponsors. And I'm just questioning, let me ask you this, how manipulative are you? Salespeople that can work both ways, but do you consider yourself to be manipulative?
Welcome back to So You Think You Can Sell. We last left our judges grilling Jody about whether she was manipulative. Let's see if she is.
I'm just wondering how manipulative you are. I mean, you show up with these succulents, and you show up with magazines that you definitely want to brand, but I've got sponsors who really want their products sold, and they're very serious about their business, and we're very serious about getting business for those sponsors. And I'm just questioning, let me ask you this, how manipulative are you? Salespeople that can work both ways, but do you consider yourself to be manipulative?
That's a good question. I haven't been told that I am, but I can see why you would say that because I am bringing these. But I thought that was part of like the task. I haven't been told I'm manipulative because I try to do everything out of sincerity and a genuine interest. So if that is an issue, then I can mitigate that.
Well, that was a very well-spoken answer.
Thank you.
She is sharp, she's energetic, she's obviously very personable. She has all the great qualities of a great salesperson.
It's almost like too nice, like too. It's too good a story. It's like, where's the flaw in the diamond? Where's the crack here?
I probably would not hire her for my company because I see a lot of conflicts of interest and because she did strike me as a bit manipulative.
Hi Charles, welcome to the San Diego VP Sales Contest. We're glad you're here.
Hi Deborah, hi Ken, hi Sandy.
Show us why you're the sales guru. What have you sold? What have you done well?
A friend of mine from college came up with this keypad for the computer. It's a wrist pad, and it was sort of like the mouse pad is for the mouse. The same type of material. It was neoprene and rubber, and so we sold that. It did all right for a couple months, and then some legislation came out that required companies to provide ergonomic products for their employees. So. Once that happened, we figured, okay, why don't we take the wrist pad and put companies' logos on them, then companies can buy them for their employees to help with carpal tunnel and everything. And then the order came from IBM for 400,000 of those, and we basically just took the PO to the bank. That became Silicon Sports. We sold that for about $2.5 million back in that day. It was a lot.
What else is it about you that is going to drive you to win this competition?
Well, there's a couple things. I think sales, one is it's personality. It's relationships with people, and it's knowing what they need and providing it to them. You know, I'm the son of a jazz musician and an oil painter. I got an opportunity to go to college at Stanford, met some fantastic people there. Played basketball in Europe for 6 years. Got to learn German and a lot of the culture. I played in France, Italy, England, Austria, and I've had great life experiences. My dad also.
I don't care about all that.
Okay.
In your life, what was a big personal or business challenge, and how did you overcome it?
Personal challenge, I'd say, was basketball. I didn't make the NBA, and I thought, since I was in high school, that was going to be the track. But I also, I had invested 10 years. I mean, I used to get up early in the morning, every morning before school at 6, and take my grandmother's oven timer, go down and shoot baskets for an hour every day, and then do leg exercises. And then I'd go to school after practice. I'd go hit the weight room, and I really took it seriously. They talk about being in the zone,
right?
Where everything seems to be slowing down and the basket seems this big. And I said, if I can learn to control that, then I can take that feeling and I can transfer it to whatever else I'm going to do later in life. That's basically what I'm doing now, is trying to find the project that'll get me there.
Well, I think you're very well spoken, very articulate, you have a great presence, and certainly seem to be a real team player. And you really have a foundation of understanding of what sales is all about. My question is, what is your weaknesses? What areas do you find yourself really challenged in sales and marketing?
I guess not knowing the rules of the game per se.
So I
know there's probably some politics involved that I haven't been exposed to. It's a competitive environment.
So you would say that you'd like to control things? No?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'd like to control things, but
you just like to know the rules.
Exactly. It's like I think about law, right? If you're going to play a board game, right, read the rules. Don't just play the game because some moves cause you to go back 5 spaces, and it'd be nice to know that ahead of time.
So this contest involves taking 5 small businesses' products and services, right? And over a period of 7 weeks, you've got to do something. You've got to get sales revenue for each of these companies. Some of the products and services you may like, some you may not like, but why are you here and why are you going to do well?
I want to see if I have what it takes. You know, I want to see if I can do that. It's a challenge. So I want to see if I can take these products and make something happen with them.
What do you think about Charles?
I think, like you said, if you give him the ground rules and how to, get around this, he will persevere and he can move forward. I think he can be a winner.
Well, but I think you said something really key. You said if you give him the ground rules. In this case, he doesn't have a lot of ground rules to really.
Did any of you feel like you connected with him or he connected with you?
I didn't think there was enough time to really feel a great connection. Did you not feel?
I felt he was charismatic. Yes, I think in that sense, I think a lot of people would feel that connection with him.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of potential. I'd certainly hire him in a minute in my company just based on
The reason I was asking if any of you connected with him is our job is to manage, right, and motivate these people to succeed. Why are you smiling?
I just really liked him, and I would like.
And you think he can sell?
I think he can sell. I think he's got real potential to sell.
And I think he's manageable.
I think, honestly, I think he really has potential to win this contest. I feel that much confidence in him.
It was a long wait, and my nerves started to take over, and I was really anxious, and I kept looking at everyone else, and they seemed to have more expensive clothes and jewelry and everything, and I thought maybe I'm not going to get this because I don't look like everyone else. And
it's been a busy morning. We've seen a lot of good people. What is it about you that's going to make you win this contest? Your personality, your sales background? Tell us about that.
Before her interview, Lolly was nervous and unsure if she could compete with the other contestants.
it was a long wait, and my nerves started to take over, and I was really anxious, and I kept looking at everyone else, and they seemed to have more expensive clothes and jewelry and everything, and I thought maybe I'm not going to get this because I don't look like everyone else. And
it's been a busy morning. We've seen a lot of good people. What is it about you that's going to make you win this contest? Your personality, your sales background? Tell us about that.
Persistence. And I never give in, no excuses, no slacking, just total energy and a total will to succeed. It's what's gotten me through my entire life, and I would say that that's the best quality is that I just do not give up. I never take no. I always see, there's an opportunity, there's a possibility, there is no obstacle, there's just perhaps another way of looking at it. Climb every hill, open every door, just don't ever stop.
What is your business currently that you have sales experience in?
Well, we have a small vending business. It's called Lionel Vending, and there's just the two of us, my husband and myself. And we place vending machines, gumball machines, in businesses. So I'm on the street. I, just walk into a business. I do a cold call, find the owner or the manager, introduce myself, explain the benefits of why.
Do you use the phone first, or send an email, or you just drive up?
Most often, a gumball machine is going to probably attract children and then families. So we target those types of businesses, small mom and pop stores.
First words out of your mouth were persistence. I thought I saw something in your eyes that, were there some extremely hard times ever in your life? Or?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we have really struggled. It has not been easy. And I just have an inner strength that I cling to. I'm gonna, no matter what it is, I am not gonna let it get me. I'm going to survive, no matter what, because you know what? There's no one else. I have no one to fall back on. I have had to make it on my own.
So in this competition, you said perseverance. How will you catapult yourself to be with one of the top contenders?
Well, what I do is I try to get inside the person's head. I try to figure out what they need and how I can accommodate that. If they're resistant, if something's going on and I try to figure it out and try to overcome whatever that obstacle is. I try to accommodate them without overtly making it obvious. If they're having a bad day, or if they're, whatever it is. I mean, look, we're all just people. We're all just people, And I'm a person, you're a person, and I know that eventually we're going to find some kind of common ground.
Jolly, you have a business.
Lolly,
I'm sorry. My bad.
Get her name right.
Yes, Pam. What is it?
Lolly. You have a business to run, and I know a business takes a lot of time, and you're competing against people that are unemployed and are going to put everything they've got into winning this contest so they can get a job. How are you going to devote the time, and how are you going to make things happen? What is it that motivates you to be in this contest?
I think the challenge. I think that I see this as an opportunity.
For what?
For almost anything. I think that it will better me as a person. It will help me in my sales. It will teach me more about how to achieve my goals. I think that competition is a good thing, and I'm ready for the challenge. My husband lost his job, and ever since then it's just been really difficult, and we're just trying to make ends meet and kind of shield our son from all of it, but the car, we have this old car, and it's really embarrassing to have to drive that. And, he doesn't like us to we have to park about a block away from school because he doesn't want the kids to see him get out of that car. And it's just really hard for me because I don't want my son to be embarrassed of me. If I could win this, it would just be such a blessing. It would just change everything for us. I'm going to win this. I'm going to win this because I'm the best, not for any other reason. I'm going to win this because I deserve it and I'm going to earn it.
Tell Sandy a little bit about some of the highlights of your sales background, please.
Well, Sandy, most of my career has been in pharmaceutical sales, and I've worked for large pharmaceutical companies and the very small of them, startups. And I find myself always taking a risk in being with startup companies. I love the small family atmosphere, but at the same time, I love the accountability. And over the years, I've just been very successful and very fortunate and blessed to have done very well with my career. And I love people, and I love building relationships. And Sales was always sort of a natural talent of mine ever since selling Girl Scout cookies at like age 5.
That's where I know you from. You're that little girl I bought those cookies. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. How many boxes did you buy, Ken?
Oh, I bought the whole thing.
You're a woman, I'm a woman. I have photographed lots of models who are pretty and attractive. You are attractive. How do you use your feminine charm or your appearance to your advantage in sales?
Wow, that's a loaded question. No, actually, fair question. I think if you come into an office or you're in front of your customer, being who you are and being authentic, genuine, real, that's really what comes across. But at the end of the day, any manager of that I've had, they're really there to make money. And if there's something else that's eluding them to go elsewhere, it's not the right fit. And I think eventually it always works out. But you're right. I mean, with women, it can be a little bit of a cattiness there, but I dress not to really impress. Really, it's more for success.
Wow, that's a fair answer, given that it was a question that I sort of put you on the spot.
Good answer. What is it about Lee that if 3 people are doing the same thing or 10 people are doing the same thing, she's going to be number 1 or number 2?
Well, that's an awesome question. I love when I get asked that because I definitely know myself at this point in my career and my tenure and my life experiences.
Well, you're 24 years old. I would hope you know yourself by then.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think from very early on in my life, I moved out of my home when I was 16, so I've been independent and on my own. I put myself through a college education worth over $120,000, financed it completely on my own. So with that being said, I mean, I'm probably the most motivated person that many of my friends know. If there's a will, there's a way, there's Lee. And I don't usually accept a whole lot less than of myself and of others. So I do have high expectations. I'm very passionate. I live my life with a lot of intention and integrity. And I think in sales especially, you have to have values and you have to bring something that's value added these days to a company, an employer, and hopefully my family at the end of the day, because that's really what I'm doing. If I'm spending time away from them, I better be doing something that I'm really very passionate about.
How are you going to do this? How are you going to raise your kids and have a full-time job and not let us and our customers down if we let you in this contest?
Sure. Being a resourceful person that I believe that I am, I'll make it happen. I mean, my motto every day is make it happen. And it's an opportunity for me that when you can set aside the time outside of my priorities, and this would obviously be a priority, I'll make it happen. I mean, one way or another, if it's a project that is definitely very interesting and there's some incentive compensation with that, absolutely. I really am a person that I think most people always say she's the most resourceful, motivating, self-motivating, very giving, very kind
She's
person.
the most resourceful, self-motivated, kind, giving person ever. Oh, sorry.
I think Ken is enamored by you. It's obvious to me, and so he's probably ready to pull you into this contest.
Sandy, what I do know is that woman is going to get in the door to see customers.
Ken, this is not a beauty contest. This is a sales contest.
It's the best of both worlds, Sandy.
I could tell you were totally enamored with her, and I don't have any problem with that, but this is a sales contest. So what did you think of her sales skills? Not her appearance, not whether you are attracted to her or not. What did you think of her sales skills?
I think she's got great sales skills, and it's packaged very attractively. And I think that's going to help her get in to see some people that I'm not going to get in to see. What I don't know about her, but I could see her doing, is going for the clothes when it was time to do that. I would not put the word shy in the dictionary next to her picture. Hi Beth, welcome to the San Diego Sales Contest. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm happy I'm here.
So you told me something very interesting. You said, Mr. Gora, I don't have a lot of sales experience, but I think I can win this contest. Tell me about that.
I may not have the professional skills to come in, but a term I just learned recently, which is really good for me, is called transferable skills. And the skills that I would bring to a contest like this are, in my own mind, perfect. You're either a salesman or you're not. Now, I've been a mom at home for the last 14 years. I've volunteered at the Red Cross and I've done other things like that, but my personality is a sales personality. Okay, do I have to sell myself a little bit now? I have a very dynamic personality, so when you mention something a little bit like, how do you think you'll stand out? Well, my question to come back to you quite honestly would be, how can I not stand out so much? As far as my selling style, probably a little more folksy than businesslike. It's just I'm not a very formal business kind of person. I'm an intuitive communicator.
Interesting. I'm sitting here,
Yeah.
and there were two people before you that had a lot more sales experience, but you're making me smile, you're making me listen,
Yeah.
you're making me believe you.
Yeah.
You know, sales is about selling yourself as well as selling the products and services that you have to offer. And you sold me within the first couple of minutes of talking.
Tell us, what are you going to do to win? What is it about you?
I'd obviously have a bit of a learning curve because I'd be getting back in there and doing what I need to do. I would learn what I need to learn. I would get what I need to get. I would get to the people I need to get to learn what I need to learn.
Can I give you some feedback?
Please.
You know, when we started this conversation, you came across as very confident. And then as time went past, I heard a lot of ambivalence. In the beginning of the conversation, you sold me.
Right.
Toward the end of the conversation, I'm over here questioning,
It went down
does
a little
she
bit.
have the potential to make it through this contest, given that you're going to be competing against some pretty tough sharks?
Yeah. For me, though it's a lot of other things, selling to me is thinking out of the box, which is something I do in a very natural way. And one little story about thinking out of the box is, I came down here for my audition, saw someone with a cup of coffee, and I said, hey, where'd you get the coffee? And they said, well, you know, you got to go upstairs, you got to go all the way over to the cafe. Now, I knew I'd be a little while, and I really wanted some coffee. And so for me, thinking out of the box is, what do I need to do right now in this situation to achieve my goal? And I noticed on my way down a meeting in another meeting room, and I just went up the stairs. I went into their room where they were all gathered around getting their coffee. Then I got myself some coffee, and I came back downstairs. And so I had my coffee. And
so you're a thief.
No, I'm not a thief. It's all part of the larger picture here. It's called, and I would never do something underhanded and devious, because that's just not who I am.
I'm not buying it.
Really? If it were going and eating their meal, I wouldn't do it. If it were going to just get an 8-ounce cup of decaf coffee, I would do it. And it's because, you know, there's just a way of thinking that you do what you need to do, you know that you are an upstanding and honest person. But getting a cup of coffee from another meeting room is not dishonest in my mind.
Before you leave, I'll leave you with a story.
Good.
Because right now you're the woman with no sales experience that hasn't worked in 14 years, correct?
Correct.
2 years ago, in this chair, in the San Diego VP contest, a woman sat there and she said, Mr. Gora, I'm a single mom. I'm a dental hygienist. I've never had a sales job. But everybody tells me I have the personality and that I should be in sales. And I saw her eyes start to water up. And she said to me, please let me in this contest. I know I can do well. I won't let you down. Please let me in this contest. And I saw it in her eyes and I let her in the contest. She won the contest.
That is such a great story. I cannot believe that I didn't tell them about my background in the interview. So I started out in television in New York. I went to the government and was a public affairs officer for FEMA. Then I became a manager of public relations at the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I've done all of that, and then I've been a mom for the last 14 years, and I did not say that in my interview at all. What my whole background is, how I've been out there with people, how I've done all the things I've done, and yet I've now been home as a mom, and this contest is going to bring me back out there with people, with situations, bringing all I have to give to this contest.
Please tell us about some of the highlights of your sales background. How'd you get to where you were today?
Well, that's a long story. So I'll start from beginning and shorten it up a little bit. But I started as a newspaper route when I was young, about 13 years old. I wasn't delivering the papers. I was going door to door and selling newspapers to people that would subscribe to the Times Advocate here in San Diego. And so I did that for about a year or two, and that's where I got my feet wet in sales, and I was hooked. And then I wanted to increase my sales experience, and then I moved on to Nextel. And at that time, you know, there was not too many African Americans in that area. So I was going door to door in businesses and knocking on doors, and eventually they ended up loving me. But honestly, in the beginning, you know, there was still the stigma of, well, why are you here? What are you doing? And them having to get to know me. And I take that, a lot of pride in that too, to help change the way people might think about certain situations. So I took on the East County. I became the I got third in Southern California as top sales reps for Nextel. And I did corporate and government accounts, so I moved up. Pretty much all the contractors were buying their cell phones from me. 100 unit deals, 200 unit deals.
What is it about you? What characteristics, what words, that if 5 people are doing the same thing as Brandon, what's going to make you be number 1 or 2? What's special about you?
I think what's special is everything has, I will say most things in my life did not come easy. What you see right now was very, very hard work. And, you know, I have never been scared of challenges. And I come from a family of 4 brothers. There's 4 of us, and I'm the oldest and the leader of my family in that way. And I look at things with open mind, and you know, if there's a mountain 5 miles high, I'm like, everybody else is like, no, we can't do it. I'm the one that's going to say, I can do this, I can do this. And that's been in me since I was younger. So that's something that's hard to explain, but is very able for people to see it when it's in action. The challenges that I've had over my life have taught me to never give up. I'm very persistent in everything that I do. I take great pride in the things that I do, and it's almost like I have something to prove, but in a healthy way.
Welcome back. We last left Noel telling the judges about the challenges in his life.
What's an emotional example for you of a challenge that happened and what you had to do to get over it?
Well, there's many stories. When we first moved to Rancho Bernardo, it was about 13. We were one of the first black families that moved into Westwood community. The first month, they spray painted, the N-word on our garage and told us we should move. This was, what, 89? And my parents moved us there to the Powell Unified School District so that we could get the best education that they knew about. And so they moved from Louisiana to Phoenix to here to help us be able to have a better opportunity than they did. And so when we moved over there and we had people do that to us, it was a hard thing for us, me and my brothers, but it was an easy thing for my parents coming from Louisiana. There was a disconnect where they were like, oh, we dealt with worse. We can deal with this so you can get a good education. We didn't know we didn't experience that in Louisiana like they did. So it was a huge deal for us.
Yeah.
However, that challenge and when I talked about being misjudged and things of that, proving myself, that's where that came from. And learning how to be healthy about it and not to retaliate back, but to use it to my benefit to change their minds about what they think about who I am is what makes me get up every morning.
Okay, so tell me what it is about this contest that appeals to you.
I'm an athlete as well. Ran track, played football and basketball my whole life. I love competition. I look at things from a competitive nature, and that's the challenge and that's what drives me. So being in a competition and being involved in something like this, those that are around me beware, because I will definitely give them a run for their money. I thought the interview process went very well. I liked it a lot. There was some great questions. It went really smooth and it was very easy to talk to them. I think that I'm pretty excited about the opportunity to be able to be involved in this show. I think it'd be great for San Diego as well. And really anticipating to be able to meet some of the other people that are looking to do the show as well. So that's what I'm looking forward to right now. When they were asking me what was going on in my personal life and the challenges that I faced, it made me nervous a little bit. Having to share personal information with people you don't know well is definitely a scary feeling. But being able to express it and let them know what's going on and what I've been through so they can determine whether it's something good for the show or not is definitely something that I wanted to share in the first place.
We see a lot of resumes of pure sales experience. Sales, 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 sales. We see a lot of resumes of pure marketing experience. But you've got these project manager and this and that. And I firmly believe anybody can win this contest based not on what they've been or what they've done, but who they are and what they want. So talk to me about that. Beyond the resume, because we've read the resume, why can you win this contest and what should we know about you?
Well, I really want this. I saw this right away and thought, I'm going to win that VP position. I'm graduating with my master's in business in May, so I definitely I've been studying marketing specialization, but my background, as you said, is in all kinds of different areas. I've been an adoption counselor, I've been a project manager. I worked with a couple different startups, which let me do a bunch of different things other than just marketing and sales. And last semester, I worked doing digital marketing for a large analytics company. So I think I'm great for this contest because I'm very outgoing. I definitely bring something to the table, and I really want it. Very competitive.
Tell me about that very competitive. Where have you been very competitive in life?
In sports, lots of different sports that I've played, volleyball, tennis. In tennis, for instance, I wouldn't say I was the best, most seasoned tennis player, but I always won because I hated to lose. I would always go into the third set. And just being kind of a scraggly player, not really playing with the best finesse, but getting the ball over and endurance. And I do have the background as well in learning about marketing. I do have some of the experience, and I think this is a young and fresh market. I think that being new to it and looking at it with new eyes instead of being somebody that's been in it for years and years can definitely be an advantage.
You know, when I read your resume, what stood out for me is that you really do have a wide area of interests. You seem to be interested in children, psychology, business, animals. Out of those things, what do you think interests you the most? I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, I took some time to do all those different jobs to find out what it was that I wanted to do, and that's why I went back to school for business, and I'm loving marketing. I found out, you know, between undergrad where I did psychology and my graduate, I took a couple years in the field, and like I said, I worked with a couple of startups where I got to get my hands in a bunch of different things, and it made me realize that I really loved marketing. So I've really been enjoying that, and I think my diverse background has made it all the more colorful.
You've got these different skills, these different business skills, and I like what you said about you saw this and you want it and you think it's for you. And I like that you have 40 hours a week to try to make things happen. Am I right?
Yep.
What makes a good salesperson?
I think being personable. I think definitely what I've been learning in the marketing area too as well is it used to be this push, push, push in your face, calling you up, bothering you, up in your stuff. People don't like that anymore. They don't respond to people feeling like people are trying to sell them things. I think that you need to be more discreet, more smart, more social media, internet type things definitely I think play a big role. So that would be my thoughts on that.
So I guess the question that I have is, are you hungry? You know, I find that people in business and in sales and marketing, those people who really excel are people who are hungry.
Yes, I definitely think I have the want for it. I mean, I did my graduate degree in a year and a half because I was that hungry to get out of it and get into the field. I mean, I want that full-time job, I want that career, and I'm going after it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Interesting to see what her style is, how she performs against people who are really aggressive, because she herself didn't appear to be aggressive. She appears to be much more subdued, but perhaps even more crafty in a more genuine, authentic, straightforward way.
Right. And I would like, if at the end of 2 weeks, she's written 17 orders for different companies, and John over here, who has 12 years of sales experience, has barely started, I'd like to say, Rhea has no sales experience, and she's beating the crap out of you. Are you kidding me? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And we've had that happen in contests. So she could be good.
The judges have tough decisions to make.
That woman is going to get in the door to see customers.
Articulate, very charismatic.
Like too nice.
See which contestants will make the final cut.
I'm pretty excited about the opportunity.
I'm at the right place and this is the right fit.
I'm really happy I had the opportunity.
I was so excited.
Be sure to follow the competition on So You Think You Can Sell.